Welcome to People Behind People, the podcast that shines light on incredible stories of Pakistanis making an impact across the world. I'm your host, Shehbaz Ahmad, CEO of Devbox Technologies. Today, we are joined by Dr. Rizwan Asghar, a leading cybersecurity expert, researcher, and educator, bridging the gap between AI and the digital security at the University of Surrey. Welcome to the podcast, Dr. Rizwan.
Yeah, thank you, Shehbaz, for organizing this session and inviting me into this session and also introducing me. Thank you.
You're welcome. So, Dr. Rizwan, you have built a remarkable career in cybersecurity, but let's start from the beginning. Where did your story begin in Pakistan?
Oh, yeah, the story begins back in 2002 when I started BSc Computer Science Honors from University of the Punjab in Lahore. And I think this is the timeline nearly like 23 years ago when we also met. So we know from that time. Yeah, so while like working as a computer scientist as a student, so I was taking interest in system programming, and then later on in the final year I was very interested in system programming, so I started applying for the jobs and I secured one at Palm Chip Limited in Pakistan. So over there I was part of network security team, and while working as a software engineer over there, so I thought maybe I should study a bit more, especially the cybersecurity part or information security, because that was the title of the domain by then. And
Okay.
the journey started from there.
That's wonderful. So, what inspired your journey abroad? What were the key turning points?
Yeah, the key part was, so I wanted to like work on network security, specifically on intrusion detection system, and this is where I was thinking maybe this is quite interesting and I should study more. And I was thinking maybe I should be doing some kind of messy from Pakistan, but then my brother, who graduated from TU Delft in the Netherlands, he suggested no, actually, if you have to do masters, you have to go abroad
Yeah.
and you should be applying overseas. And then I thought, oh, let's start with applying to overseas universities. So I started mainly the European universities. So applying to Germany, Netherlands, Sweden, Italy. So I was choosing like top one to top three top universities in every country. So I applied for so many universities and then secured some admissions, but I was more interested in scholarship. So I received scholarship from two different universities. One was Eindhoven University
Mhm.
in the Netherlands, and second was Denmark Technical University. And then I checked with my brother also, like I have these two offers and both are related to security, which is of my interest. And then he suggested based on his background. So he said, go to the Netherlands. And I was also inspired by this program in the Netherlands because this was a joint program of three universities in the Netherlands, Eindhoven, Nijmegen, and Twente. So that was the unique aspect of this program. So I decided to go for it.
That sounds wonderful. So, tell us about something like I think not many people know that the incredible work you are doing abroad. Tell us about the prize you won. I will let you share more details on it.
Oh, yeah, thank you for pointing this out. Yeah, so this year I received Clinton Bedogni Prize, and this is for making outstanding contribution to the field of cybersecurity in the past 2 years. So this award is awarded every 2 years. So I made some contribution to cybersecurity, and this is in recognition of those contributions. And I also received 10,000 New Zealand dollars as a cash prize. And yeah, I think this is quite recognition of kind of the work I have
Yeah,
done in the past. Yeah, I'm very humbled and privileged
yeah,
to receive this award.
it's very humble of you. I think it's a big achievement. It's just astonishing the hard work you have put in, and I'm so glad to hear that. Yeah. So let's just talk about more of from the perspective of cybersecurity and the cybersecurity in the age of AI. Let's talk about the future of your field. How is AI reshaping cybersecurity as we know it?
Yeah, I think cybersecurity historically, it's already a field which is not easy going. So it's quite challenging. So we have to be up to the speed. So how many attacks are there and understanding the nature of the attack to make some defense. And with AI, attacker can use AI to mount the attack. And likewise, maybe as a defender, we can say, oh, let's use the same technology to defend the attacks. I think that in theory is possible, but in practice, I think attacker is using, and there are more possibilities for the attacker to bypass the detection mechanism. Whereas from the protection point of view, we can still use AI, or we can also fix problems within the code, saying if there is any buffer overflow or any vulnerability, fix it, and we can ask LLMs to point out those vulnerabilities. It can do that, but the real challenge is attacker would be finding some point where it can be exploited. And that is much easier. And having a general purpose defense using AI is a hard problem, is an open problem. Whereas finding one single abuse case is quite easy. So therefore, it's an arms race. We can have defense, but special purpose defense, but general purpose defense is a challenge. So yeah, I think when both are using AI, it's
Yeah.
more harder to do the protection.
Yeah. I guess so. I think it's like it's the productivity tool is in the hands of people who want to use it like in the negative way. Is somehow more prominent or more productive than the people who are on the defense side.
Yeah, I mean, historically, it was the case that attacker has to prepare all the files, all the code in order to do the attack. But now imagine agentic AI, so can ask some agent, can you write buffer overflow exploit? And I would like to exploit some website or some code that is vulnerable. So this is much easier. I think we are giving more
Yeah.
power to the attackers than the defender.
Yeah. I hope that people don't stop trying after listening to this. Yeah. So, what are the biggest challenges, like ethical concerns emerging in this space?
Yeah, with AI, specifically with the LLMs, one of the major concerns is data privacy and also digital consent. So imagine all the information which is listed by LLMs or AI. And the question is, do we have consent from those data subjects whose data is being shared by LLMs? And unfortunately, the answer may be no. At this stage, I think that is a big question mark on LLMs. So ethical issues are there. And also,
Absolutely.
uh, yeah, also like privacy. If I have my data and you are looking for my data, and historically we had the same problem in search engines. So you can search my name and you can find all the info, but all the public info. If there is private info, then there is a possibility that I can request search engine providers to remove my personal info from the search results. And this is applicable to European citizens and also to some other nationalities, but not to all the countries. For instance, this is not applicable to US citizens. Yeah, with LLM, we exactly have the same problem. So if someone is looking for my name and finding some personal info, and the question is, do I have a right to be forgotten? Do I have right to request that this data must be removed? At this stage, I don't see anything offered by these AI companies or LLMs.
I think so. Also, I think one worrying thing is the use by kids, the children, the safety around these AI and these LLMs. What do you think about that? We know ChatGPT has started that adult content or adult chat in there. So where do you think this is going?
Yeah, it is concerning. Just like I think historically we had online social networks. So children, if they are becoming part of those social networks, although they have now policies that minimum age limit should be 16 or 18, so at least there is a restriction. So they must be having age validation first before they consume any social network. So we had historically that restriction, but in LLM, unfortunately, this is where I don't see. I mean, any kid can go to LLM, can ask without logging in, or others that are requiring some login. Even in that case, it is possible. So they can ask questions. And I think the concerning part is just like any social network in LLM, they can ask private questions. They can say, okay, my age is this, and this is my name, this is my address, this is my nationality. Can ask some questions and get the responses. And when we have these interactions, in these interactions, it's very highly likely that they are sharing some personal info. And this is not only for kids. I think for
Yeah,
kids, it's more concerning. Even for us, when we are interacting with LLMs, we can say to LLM, look, I'm a researcher and I'm going to have this new exciting project. Tell me about how I should be working on this project. So when
Yeah.
we are interacting, we are exposing some info. And imagine your competitor is also using LLM and saying to the LLM, tell me what are the initiative by company or your company, or for instance, in my case, I'm associate professor at University of Surrey. So if any competitor university is going to ask what are the initiative by University of Surrey, so can easily see the list of options if I have asked those questions. But I think essentially we are leaking information to LLMs, to AI. And this is not only concerning as a private information, but also as organizations. We have organizational secrets. What are the projects? What are new initiatives? So those must not be disclosed. And by having LLMs or asking LLMs, we are leaking this information to some extent.
Right. Yeah. I think we also the also people like, let's just say me, are giving more information to LLM just so it can act like me. So it, it is like, as you said, you are giving it details that you want the answer because you are a researcher, and I want the answer in my context, and I'm giving it more details like variables so it can better adapt. And yeah, that is leading to maybe giving it too much information. Yeah. So yeah, interesting time. So let's discuss how countries like Pakistan prepare the next generation of tech professionals for this evolving landscape.
Yeah, very good point. So first of all, when we are using LLMs, broadly speaking, I mean, not only Pakistanis, but also broadly, like when we use LLMs, we have to make sure we don't leak personal info. When we are asking questions, we are mindful of the fact that LLM can store all the questions we are going to ask, and those could be presented later on against us. This is the key thing. And now coming to Pakistan, so as a Pakistani or Pakistani government or regulators, what they should be doing, I think I can see there is very exciting national AI initiative. I appreciate that. Since we also have cybersecurity concerns, data privacy concerns, so maybe it's a great opportunity also for Pakistan to develop a policy which is not only including AI, but also covering cybersecurity from the privacy point of view, from a digital consent point of view, that is more inclusive. And then embedding this not only in terms of AI, but also for cybersecurity in the curriculum for BSc degree programs, and also running awareness hackathons, and then offering some scholarships in this area to upskill the youth would be a worthwhile goal I think Pakistan can aim to achieve.
Right. Yeah. Yes, that sounds like a good understanding of it. And I think countries like ours, Pakistan, or in our subcontinent, the big opportunity is like things can happen quickly. Like the implementation cycle is quite quick, or the legislation. So we can take advantage and prepare ourselves as a market over there as well for these technologies. So yeah, okay, let's dive into another topic, because you also serve as director of employability at University of Surrey. So you work closely with the leading companies on placements and graduate recruitment. From that perspective, what trends are you seeing in how companies are hiring computer science and AI graduates today?
Oh, it's again very interesting time to look for placement, internships, and graduate roles. Not only those graduating from universities, but also those already working in industry. I think it's equally exciting time for them as well, or maybe challenging to some certain extent. So challenging in a way that we have, for instance, in the US, we know there are AI layoffs, and they heavily invested in AI, and now they feel like maybe there is AI bubble that is going to burst. So that is the dimension why they are planning to have AI layoffs. But from the student perspective, or as a director of employability, I feel this is also a great opportunity to see what we can embed within the curriculum and how we can prepare graduates for the careers and opportunities that are available now. So I have been talking to different employers looking or interested in what they are looking for in students. So what kind of skills and how they can feel like they should be making offers to students and what they see in application. I think it's also exciting that employers are aware that students may be using LLM for preparing application, for CV, for cover letter. So this is a part I think where we need to uh, have common understanding that LLM is a tool that can help to a large extent. Having said that, there are dots. There is critical thinking. There is innovation, which LLM cannot do. But this is human who can do these things. So we can take
Yeah,
LLM as a like prerequisite, and then we can build on top, and then we can see what are the dots that we can connect. I think LLM cannot connect the dot properly. Maybe from privacy point of view, if I have interactions in the past, I ask it some questions. It can build on those questions. It can have the whole profile. But if I have innovative idea, I have a new security solution, I have new startup idea. LLM cannot propose these ideas to me. Instead,
yeah, yeah,
maybe it
yeah,
can
yeah,
help. I can cross check, but again, it's a matter of like leaking information before you have any patent.
yeah,
Yeah.
yeah,
Yeah. Critical thinking is, I think, one of the things. So imagine we ask LLM is going to give some output. And the question is, can we challenge this output? Because I asked LLM some weeks ago to draft something, and it said Tuesday, 1st of the month. But it was not 1st of the month. It was Monday, 1st of the month. So there are
yeah.
hallucinations. There are some errors. And as a like prompt engineer, we can get the output and we can challenge that output. And if we have that capability, I think this is the strength we can have in this era.
I can say that. I think uh, the thing is that we need to challenge more, right? We have to understand that whatever it is, whatever we are getting out of it, it's not absolute. Yeah, regarding that, I asked this question even mostly. So, how do you see the professional life starting for fresh graduates? Because things are challenging for them because of the LLMs. A lot of companies are employing these tools, and a lot of stuff that a fresh person could do to gain experience is now being done by these LLMs and all these tools.
Hmm,
So
hmm.
so the bar has gotten up for even for the entry to the employment.
Yeah, I think these days what skills are more important. First of all, soft skills. And I think after COVID, it's a big challenge we have. And I think after this AI, we have also other challenges as well, like critical thinking. So not only relying completely on AI, but also thinking how we can benefit from AI and move forward. So yeah, soft skills is another area. For instance, teamwork, whether we can do it. Other elements of soft skills like working as a group, or also something that think about something that AI cannot do and we as human can do. Can we reflect that also in the job application? I think that would be also another kind of success. And this could also be something like if someone is helping as a volunteer, so how we can translate those soft skills into the job application. So employers are looking for what are the initiatives? Are you proactive? What kind of extra competitive edge you have? Why you should be hired? I think these are the skills we feel like still relevant. AI cannot help with proactiveness. AI cannot help with new ideas, extracurricular activities, or other activities. I think these are the points where AI may not be beneficial. On the other end, in the interview process, employers may be looking for these skills, and highlighting these skills in the job application as well as in the interview process would be uh, securing your job.
Yeah, I agree. I agree. That's such a valuable insight, especially for those who are preparing for international careers in tech. The things are changing so much. So, how do you think? I mean, as you said, soft skills, and I think there are many soft skills. Communication is one. What do you see, or how can people improve? Or I don't know. I don't think we can give advice, but maybe if we can share our own experiences, like how can somebody work on it to improve this stuff? Because normally, even for me, you don't know whether what you are lacking.
Yeah, it's again self assessing yourself is a big question mark. I think I'm still learning myself. I'm still trying to improve myself, and it is much easier when someone else is going to give some feedback. And as a student, I think it's maybe computer society or other societies student can be part of, and they can start working on those kind of skills or other skills. And for me, maybe I'm going to do some volunteering activities or some activities which can also help. But I think the best way could be, for instance, engaging in some initiative which are outside our job or outside our like the regular day-to-day job, and we can have also kind of community of peers from time to time checking with friends or colleagues or uh, somebody asking, okay, I'm trying to improve myself and I'm trying to improve this specific skill. Can you give some advice how I'm performing, and I can give you in return the same advice. But these are the points where we are practicing. But now, what are those skills? I think for to this end, there is one important bit which I would like to mention, and this is reading books or listening to books. So this is the like unlimited knowledge that we have, and we can benefit from this knowledge because the first step is we should know what we are lacking. And when we listen to books on different topics, whether it's personal development, leadership development, personal growth, psychology, emotional intelligence, or any other topic, which could be also technical or soft skill. By listening to a book or by reading a book, it is much easier to identify that this is a list I want to improve. So we have a goal. So in order to identify the goal, so listening is or reading a book is something I think we can start with.
I agree. I agree to that. Okay, so le- based on that, let's talk about what daily practices have shaped your growth and your personal routines, and what do you do as based on this?
Yeah, I think long time ago when I was in New Zealand, so I started reading books, and at some point, because now I'm driving to my office and returning back from my office, I play badminton and I go to badminton, return from there. So I see there is time when I drive, and this time can be leveraged to a large extent. So I thought not only like reading books, but I can start listening to the books. So this is how I'm doing on a regular basis. But coming to daily routine, so once it's end of the day, so I do two things. First of all, I have a reflection on what I have done during the day. Second, I also plan my next day, whether next day is off day or it's a working day. So I have a list of actions that I would like to take or some objectives I would like to achieve. And I also have my official calendar, personal calendar. If it's working days or in my official calendar, I have already slots for the meetings or some activities which I would like to perform. Or in my personal one, if I have some appointment, something I am going somewhere, so I make like these slots. Because if there is also Parkinson's law, if you are given a task and you are not given limited amount of time, you have unlimited amount of time, you will definitely take unlimited amount of time to finish the
Yeah,
task, meaning you are
yeah,
taking ages to complete it. So once we are focused, once we know it's half an hour or 1 hour, so before start of the working day, so I have expectations like I'm going to spend 1 hour on this task, and then I'm fully focused on 1 hour or completion within an hour. So yeah, so my daily routine is to have these to-do list task and at the end of the day reflections, and I also
mhm,
maintain a journal. Sometimes I have ideas and I don't want these ideas to go away. Instead, I try to write them as they come through. If it's a good idea, so I want to take time to immediately write it down. Then later on during the day or at the end of the day, I can work on these ideas to take some actions or make some plans.
right. Yeah, so I'm glad you mentioned Parkinson's law because that's so true in software development. If somebody estimates it to be 8 hours, it's gonna take 8 hours, no matter how early that task or how late it can be done. So yeah, we feel ourselves as humans. We fill the gaps, or we have. I think you talked about a book, Atomic Habits by James Clear. So uh, do you know about this? I mean, what you take out from that particular book?
Oh yeah, this book is very interesting. I think even in these days when we go to airport or any bookshop, so we can see this is a quite popular book. If you also search online on search engine or ask maybe LLM as a search engine provider. So I think this is how currently I'm also using LLM. So summarize this for me. So tell me what's the best book. Tell me what's the best selling book. So it can give you that information. So still, this book, Atomic Habits by James Clear, is one of the popular books I would strongly recommend because it is talking about habit, how to develop new habits, how to break existing habits, and how to replace bad habits with good ones or habit stacking. Like if I'm starting some activity, what should be the like first point and can I do before and after this habit? So gradually I can keep improving. Yeah. So I think
Right.
James Clear's Atomic Habits is the very first book. If you are going to start reading a book or prefer to listen a book, this is the one I would strongly recommend.
Thank you. I will certainly read that. So, okay, so you are a man of many talents, so you are doing a lot of stuff. How do you maintain balance between this deep technical work and personal well-being?
It's a very interesting question, I think. Yeah, first of all, this prioritization is one of the things which I exercise quite on a regular basis. So task prioritization is the key. If I have again the theme for the day or theme for the week, I'm going to focus on that theme. The criteria is again coming to Parkinson's law. If I don't define, there is no limit. So I have to put a stop. Otherwise, I keep working until very late night and work is not finishing. So, in order to maintain like this work-life balance, I think first task prioritization is one of the keys.
Yeah.
Second, I think also making sure how we can make the or achieve the efficiency. So how we can do the task effectively in a limited amount of time and become more productive. So I'm keep exploring even now, like what's the best way, how I can reduce the time but achieve the same outcomes. So that is kind of the struggle or ongoing challenge I am trying to address. But having said that, there should be also a boundary when I can say, now I'm done with the work and now it's my time to do my personal stuff.
Right.
So surely, I mean, it's more than like the number of hours I plan to work. So once I'm done with my official activities, now I know I have to finish. If I'm like running out of time, so I know I have to be focused and then I
Yeah.
need to move on. And one of the things from again, Atomic Habits, when we are changing habits from like bad habits to good habits, we have to have strong desire for developing these new habits. So for me, it's a kind of a badminton to some extent. So I play badminton a couple of times in a week, and this is the breaking point. So when in the evening, so I know I have to go for a badminton, and before that, I have to finish my work. So once I leave for badminton, so I say bye bye to the work.
Yeah. Yeah. Okay. So you have a goal. To achieve that goal, you have to complete the first goal.
Yeah,
You're right. I have heard you're quite good in badminton. You play for Surrey and Hampshire clubs, right?
yeah. So these are two best clubs in the area. So these are two different counties. Surrey County, it's a Surrey Sports Park where I play, and this is the very first club I knew when I joined University of Surrey. And the second club is in Hampshire. So I that's the second one. So it's also pretty decent group, and they play league matches, and sometimes they also invite me to play some of the matches if I'm available.
Right.
Yeah, so I do enjoy playing badminton, and I'm never tired, never bored, and instead.
Yeah.
This is another way to recharge myself. I think when it comes to work-life balance, if we imagine we keep working for 24 hours, and I think it's not productive. Maybe next day is not even 24. I mean, even if I'm working, let's say 20 hours, I mean, which is already way too much. The next day, I don't think so I can be productive at all. So instead,
Right. Yeah.
it should be decent enough such that I am very productive. I take some time off. I recharge myself by doing some productive activity, whether it's badminton or maybe for other people it could be running, gym, or other activities. Or maybe for those people, maybe it could be also like listening to the books or reading the books. So yeah, I think these are kind of the.
Yeah. Sorry, I
Oh
think you were
yes.
dropped. Let's continue.
Yeah, yes. Yeah. So basically, yeah. So we need to. So what I was saying is, let's say I work a large number of hours, let's say 20 hours, and it means next day when I go to work, I won't be productive enough. So I need to be productive enough such that I can sustain my productivity. And I think one of the solutions to address this challenge is I need to take some time off so that I can recharge myself. And now this recharge could be in form of playing badminton, going for running, going to gym, or maybe listening to a book, reading a book, or some other activities that you enjoy the most, or maybe your own tasks that you want to complete. So as long as you feel fulfilled to do those activities, I think that's the aim. So once I am fully recharged, next day when I go to work, I'm excited, full of energy, and then I can
Yeah.
be productive as well as efficient in terms of achieving my objectives.
That sounds wonderful. What do you advise for like young professional people or old ones like me? About building meaningful routines for growth, personal and professional.
Yeah, I think in terms of building routines, I would first advise that go and read this book, Atomic Habits by James Clear. And
Definitely.
also, if there's a possibility, try to maintain some calendar, journal that you can do on a regular basis. And also, other than that, maybe for youth, it's more like be proactive, take some initiatives, and take responsibility. I think that is for the youth. I know you are already doing a great job taking some initiative, and I think that's not for you, but for young generation, that's a piece of advice I would like to share. And I think talking to also different employers as director of employability. So I was asking some employers like, what do you expect from students? And you feel like you are lacking. I think some employers, they were saying when students, they join us, they feel like uh, we are giving them some work. And at some point they say, oh, it's a lot of work. And what they don't do is the prioritization.
Yeah.
Also, they say, everyone is giving me a piece of work and it's too much work. And I think other element is taking responsibility, negotiating on what can be done given the amount of time they have, and also planning very well, becoming more professional and showing professional attributes like time management. If you are taking some time off, informing your employer that, look, I have this upcoming big chunk of holidays. Is it okay for you? I'm going to book the flight, because it is not the best practice that you say to the employer, look, I'm going to take my leave and I already booked my flight. And I think that is already too late. So yeah, I think be proactive, take initiative, take responsibility, be mindful of the fact that you have to be inclusive in sharing your some of the decisions which can affect your employer.
Right. Like, uh, okay, let's move on. Let's shift gears now. And what's your message beyond titles and roles? What does success mean to you?
Yeah, for me, success is not having some promotion or having some title or role. Success is more like empowering people and also improving lives. Now, if you can do this in your capacity, no matter what role you have, what title you have, if you are improving others' life, if you are empowering other people, that is criteria of success for me.
Beautifully said. What message would you share with someone who is like in the university, like PCIT and other universities, or maybe someone in UK universities or anywhere, looking at the space, the tech space, and coming out and want to be seen, he want to contribute, and he want to be, at the big stage. How should he prepare?
Yeah, the message I would like to give to students, no matter which part of the world, whether in the UK or outside the UK, in Pakistan, or anywhere in the world. So the message is every small step you take counts. So take baby steps. When you make a big plan, make sure you divide into smaller chunks and make it more achievable. So don't feel like if you don't have success and or if you are failing, try to fail forward. So I advise to my students, if you are applying for placements, internship, graduate roles, and if you apply for one employer and you receive a rejection, then your action plan should be now the next action is you apply for two employers. And then if you receive two rejections, again, for every rejection, you go for another two employers. So that should be the
Yeah.
idea. So I think they should be failing forward. They have to make a plan. They have to act on improving. And this is a message I would like to give. So if you are failing, make sure you are learning and keep improving, fail fast and improve fast, and become resilient, become persistent. So if you are receiving rejection, does not mean you still like keep receiving these rejections. I think at some point you just need one offer and then you're done. Like then you feel like you are succeeded, you have achieved your goal of job search. So also any other thing you are doing, so make sure you fail forward and you have a plan, become resilient, become persistent.
Yeah, that's a very concrete advice. I think the main point is that you just have to succeed once. I mean, all the other failures just go away with one success, and that's all you need. So that's exactly, I mean, 100% right. And so more on that. I mean, is there anything you would like, or you can mention? I mean, what I'm after is like there are times when you think, okay, if I knew this thing when I was a young professional, things would have been better, or it would have been like made me a better person or a better technical person. Or, is there anything you can think of?
Yeah, I think one thing is start reading books and start listening to books. So we have so much, and again, everyone has a different interest and different preferences. So if you like, for instance, personal growth, listen to books on personal growth and then start exercising those messages you get from those books. If you are interested in leadership, read books on leadership. If you are interested in startup and you know how to run a successful startup, so read books on startup. So imagine if you are expert in some area, let's say if I classify, oh, I am a researcher, I am a professor, or I am director, and someone asked me something, I should be able to relate. I should be able to have a meaningful conversation on the topic. And I think books are the best resource to keep improving. And other options could be also TED Talks. Or so listen to TED Talks, listen to podcast, listen to anything that can improve. So educate yourself, keep learning, keep improving.
Yeah, thanks very much. Yeah, that's a very solid advice. With this, I think we are coming to the end of our session, and hopefully we will have more of these in the coming months. Dr. Rizwan, thank you for joining us and sharing not just your expertise, but your journey. You're one of
Yeah,
the
thank you, Shehbaz.
you're welcome. I think you're one of the many brilliant minds showing the world what Pakistanis can achieve globally. Uh, all right. To our listeners, make sure to subscribe, share, and like us anywhere. Until next time, I'm Shehbaz Ahmad. We will come with you another episode of People Behind People. Thank you.